Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview on a Thursday, July 14th, 2016. Traders coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue sunny skies, scattered puffy white clouds and white sandy beaches. Traders, great to be with you. This is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders got a lot to talk about today. We got some really, I don't know, how do you say, crazy charts. We got some crazy charts today. Some of the charts are really, we wanted price action. We got it yesterday. Wow, up and down and all around. Yeah, a lot of indecision, right? A lot of stuff going on. Lots going on there. And the UK now has a new Prime Minister. Cameron's gone. May is in. Let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting. All right, traders, before we get started, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I am your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I do record this during the Asia session. So if you see this in London, just go back about 12 candles and you should be right about the start of where I started my presentation. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006. In 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later, I came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, traders, I have to tell you, I am in my 9th year and still in Thailand. Haven't gone home yet. I did go home one time, but yeah, it was only for 2 weeks. But I'm back, and it's just really great to be in Asia. Just love the people and the food and the atmosphere, and I live in a resort town, so it's amazing. I have friends all over the world in my phone. I have friends, and I will tell you that 2 days ago was my birthday, and I turned the happy age of 56. And I want to let you know that Facebook, I had over 100 responses for happy birthdays, and that's unbelievable. And I don't think any of them listen to me on this show, so don't have to worry about that. But thanks to them, and if you're one of them, thank you so much. All right, let's see. Well, how do I trade? Well, I trade with fundamentals. I need to know what's going on fundamentally, what's coming out, what news is coming out. We do have data today in Asia in about 1 hour. We have employment change out of Australia, so keep an eye on that. Don't get into any Aussie trades until you see that. And this probably won't get up onto YouTube that quick. It might, but I don't think it'll get up that fast. So I really watch my fundamentals. I know when things are coming out. I know when things are happening. And with modern technology today, folks, iPhones, smartphones, iPads, you know, I can be on the go. You know, went for dinner last night, just a little dinner, nothing special. And, you know, I brought my iPad with me. I was able to monitor my trades and, you know, still had a good dinner. And it was really, really the way to do it. So then I'm a technician. I love analyzing charts, support, resistance, right? Price action, price failure, price structure, right? And most of all, price levels, right? Most of the time in Forex, prices repeat themselves. If you say you have like a 1.1700 price level, I can guarantee you every time you come to that price level, you're going to get a reaction. Whether it's the one you want or not, you're going to get a reaction, or at least a bump at that price level. Because if you go left of the chart, there's always been price action at that level. So you need to have that, and you need to remember that. And if you can't remember it, you need to mark it on your charts, right? So, but I like the 20s, the 80s, and the 0.50s. I think those are really, really important. And of course, the double zeros, you know, we all know about the double zeros, and we all know we're going to see people have orders in at those price levels, and the trick is to get through those price levels. But you need to understand that you're going to have bounces, right? So we prepare for that. What I do is I take my fundamentals, I take my technicals, put them together, and hopefully I come up with a nice trade plan. And I put a trade plan together, and I enact my trade plan. And once the trade plan's there, it's there. If the price gets to where I want it to be, I get in the trade. If it's not, I don't. And, you know, patience, you will be rewarded. Remember that. When you send me an email and tell me you're bored, You're doing a great job. All right, that's enough about me. Let's get the legal stuff out of the way. We got some really interesting charts today. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, what's the name of this game? Yes, again I say, capital preservation. Live to trade another day. So please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, good stuff. Let's head over and see what's going on in the news and stuff and how the markets closed. The Dow 30 closed up 0.13%, and the S&P 500 closed up barely at 0.01%. However, the NASDAQ did not close in the green. It closed in the red. It was negative 0.34%. And also the small cap 2000 closed negative 0.35%. Let's head on over to the Eurozone. Let's see what's going on there. Again, this is a mixed reaction. The DAX closed negative 0.33%. The FTSE 100 closed negative 0.15%. However, the CAC 40 is in the green, barely at 0.09%. The Eurostoxx 50 is in the green, even less, barely in it at 0.01%. So just come on over to Asia and take a look at see what's going on my side of the world. The Nikkei 225 is currently trading, and it is positive 0.23%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is positive 0.17%. And like I said, we've got about 15 minutes till we get data out of that. We have employment change coming out of Australia today. The China 850, which is not open yet, did close negatively at 0.18%. And the Hang Seng closed yesterday in the negative at 0.46 in the green. They open in about 48 minutes from now. The Kospi, however, out of Seoul is currently trading, and it is currently negative 0.17%. Just let's go over to the economic calendar today. Pretty steady inflow of data. A lot of medium impact data today. There's plenty of data to keep the markets up and alive. Like I said, in Asia, we do have employment change, and that's the big one. So we'll just keep an eye on that. However, as we go through the day, we got PPI out of the Swiss today, medium impact, BOE, QE total comes out today, medium impact, not sure what that is. And then out of the pound, we have the interest rate decision, and then we have the BOE MPC vote unchanged, medium impact. So we do have BOE MPC meeting minutes being released. That's a high impact data. So that's like 4 hours after the market opens. So yeah, the pound's going to keep us busy in London today. A lot of medium impact data today. U.S. has core PPI, which is a medium impact. However, we do have PPI month on month for June, and that is a high impact number. And trust me, the Fed will be watching these numbers very closely. Canada has new housing price index today. It's medium impact. And again, we have, as usual, somebody's going to speak. And yes, we have FOMC member Lockhart speaks today. So that's what's going on as far as our numbers go and our economic calendar goes. What's my commentary for today? Well, I didn't think we were going to get the price action that we had yesterday. We did get some really nice price action. Some of our trades worked, some of them didn't. Some of them gave you a second time to get in and get out again. If you took them in both directions, you made some really nice pips. So, all I can say is we do have price action. And I keep hearing, I do listen to another chat room. One, there's a couple of moderators that I really enjoy listening to. And the other one is trading sometimes can get really boring, right, when you do it by yourself. So it's always good to be in a chat room just to listen and get ideas from other people. It's better to have like 200 eyeballs looking at the same chart than just my 2 eyes looking at the same chart, right? So it's always good to have a chat room to listen to, and there's plenty of them out there for free. Just go find it. It's there. All right, let's take a look at some charts. One we're going to take a look at is the euro dollar. The euro dollar. All right. So yesterday we were in this looking for this, and this just didn't work. It came down a little bit. It did not hit our take profit area. If you took the down move, off that 200 bounce, that would have been the 200 EMA, you actually had a second chance. You can see that blue candle, the wicks touching that 200 EMA, and gave you a second chance to get in and get down. You would have got, and listen, it's a good 25 pips you could have made there. What happens then? You end up with two dojis. This is why you need to know how to read a candlestick and what it's telling you. You see a doji, that is indecision. It's like a boxing match. Nobody's a winner and nobody's a loser, and they're boxing it out. And who's going to win? Well, guess who won? Yep, the Bulls won. And there we went. And it went right through the 200, gave you a retest of the 255, gave you a second opportunity to get in the second half of this trade, and away she went. So now you could say I've marked resistance on the chart at 111.22. We want to sell it up there, and we want to take profit at either 1.1083 or 1.1050. I think we're going to get a bounce at the daily pivot. You could take profit if you want. Just get out of the trade at the daily pivot. You have plenty of pips, and you can just get out and forget it. But if it slides through, you know what? Take it down to the S1 pivot and see if you can get some out of there. There's a little bit of price action left of the chart down there. I don't think you're even going to get a bounce if it just goes down there. It's just going to roll down there. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at the pound dollar. Pound dollar, not a lot of stuff. It's sort of like up and down and all around. It's very very confusing. Now, my bias is bearish, right? I want to sell this. I don't want to take this to the upside. The pound is really walking on eggshells right now, and I don't think it's I don't think it's the Brexit issue. I think yesterday's crazy news was their new prime minister getting sworn in, and I think that's what was going on there. I really don't think that this was about Brexit. I think pretty much people have accepted it. Listen, folks, they haven't even enacted Section 50 yet. So until they do that, which probably is not going to be till August or September, they have 2 years to exit the EU. So, we're going to be listening and hearing about Brexit for another 2 years. And the markets, I think, are just like, okay, that's enough. We've reacted enough. Let's go back to some regular trading. But I think this move yesterday, the up move and the sideways, I think it's all about the political front, and it's to be expected. However, this trend line, and you can't unfortunately see the whole thing, but there is, I took this trend line. This is about a 5-touch trend line from where I started. And, we just got to break this trend line. We need a retest, though. It's got to retest. I'm not asking for a lot, but it's just got to give us a retest. I'd love to see a close with a red candle. I'd like to see a blue candle. I'd like to see a bigger red candle, and we'll get this at 1.3095. And we'll take profit at the S2 reversal pivot point. The S3 pivot point at 1.2878. It's a nice trade. Now, there's a possibility this is just going to go below this trend line and just keep going. So be ready for that. Be prepared for that. And that's not a big issue. If you take a look at your 55 EMA, our 10 EMA is right on top of price, which we like. And let's see if we can get this to head on down and see what we can do. We are coming into a psychological level of 3,100. That's a double zero, so we're going to expect some bouncing around there as people have orders to go in the opposite direction, right? All right, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, quite funky. I'm bearish in the Aussie dollar. I'm not bullish by no means in the Aussie dollar. I do not want to buy it. I want to sell it. It's really at a great spot, and I'm just going to wait for data to come out and see where we end up. And, if this thing goes down 25 pips because of data, I'll just wait for a pullback, and I'll refib it, and I'll find an area to get in. But right now would be a great area to get in, but I'm not getting in front of that data. Right? Don't get in front of the freight train, my friends. Do not get in front of the freight train. Just let the trade happen. Let the data come out. It's 45 minutes away, and then we'll be ready to go. But we got to wait for the data to get done. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. This is the same chart as yesterday. The only thing I did was I put a rectangle on there, and I wanted to show you that if you remember, if you go back 3 red candles, that's where we were yesterday when we did our presentation. So this came up to the 50%. Remember, our target was we wanted the 38.2, and we wanted to sell it at that 46.28. Well, guess where we're at? We're at 46.28. Now, it's taken 24 hours to get there, and we were in a great selling opportunity, but there's a couple things I don't like and that we have to be really careful about. One is Look at how far away the 10 EMA is to price, and I'd rather have that 10 EMA on top of the last candle, not below it. The other nice thing is, oh, it's not nice because I'm bearish, is that the 55 EMA and the 10 EMA are pointing straight to the upside. So not sure how this is going to work. You know, the Euro Aussie, when it gets in a move or it gets in an area that it wants to go, it normally doesn't turn around. I was a little surprised when I looked at my charts earlier this morning and I saw this down move and it stopped. But if you take a look and look left of the chart, what do we have? We have pretty good support, and that's exactly what happened. It bounced off support. Away she went. And folks, where was your entry? Where was your entry? If you saw this, where was your entry? Now, you got to remember, moving averages are lagging, so they're not going to be where you're at when, right? Yeah, when you saw that cross from the 10 EMA across that 55, you wanted to get in somewhere there, right? Depending on where you see that on your chart. So it might have been that second blue candle you would have wanted to get in that, came back, retested the 50, and away she's gone. Now, if I was in that trade, I'd be out now, right? You'd get out now because now you got to fight the 200. And we hope the Bears win that fight, and this just comes all the way back down to 44.83. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Yen. Nothing to report, my friends. Really, there's nothing to report here. We're just looking for a bearish candlestick formation. It's simple. We're at resistance now. We're retesting the daily pivot point. Give me a bearish candlestick, and we will take this to the downside. I've given you two take profit areas, the S2 reversal pivot and support on the bottom of the page at 111.54. If we clear that 200, this is a wide open space, folks. There is no price action for a long time. This is a beautiful trade if we can get this down. One thing I don't like is I don't think Prime Minister Abiy has injected his stimulus package that he said he was going to do on July 12th. And that's going to take this thing for a whirl. Now, I'm not 100% on that, but I have not seen it or heard that that has been done. So to my knowledge, it has not been done yet. So I'd be real careful on that. But I'd still take this trade, and I just have a tight stop. A really tight stop, like 10 pips, maybe 15. That'd be it. Because if it comes out and it's against me, right, I don't want to get slammed for 100 pips. Because when he does it, the market's going to fly up, right, okay, on all your yen pairs. Here's a New Zealand dollar. I talked about some really crazy price action at the beginning of this presentation, and this is a perfect example of just absolutely crazy price action. This is just all over the place in New Zealand dollar. Now, you all know I am bearish in the New Zealand dollar. However, yesterday's trade worked, by the way. Yesterday's trade worked. We did get down to the 200, and it pulled back up. So this did work yesterday. Now, we're back to the 200 again, and what's going to happen here? Well, now I want a pullback, right? I want this to come back up to the R1 at 0.7300 or 72.90, and we'll sell it. We'll take profit at 0.7236. It's a nice 50 pip trade, 55 pip trade, but it's going to take some work. And, you know, this coming down, this is all New York, right? This is London lunch and through New York, and then we're into Asia. But this all happened during the U.S. session. Now, be careful, traders. Be careful. Some advice for you. It is earnings season. And I know you don't trade stocks and you don't trade, you're just trading Forex. But it's earnings season. You need to know what companies are putting out earnings and how it's going to affect your trades. So please be awake to earnings seasons. Yes, it does affect our Forex trading. However, I do trade options in the U.S. session. I do not trade Forex. So, I really need to know what's going on with earnings season, right? I don't want to be in a trade with earnings coming out on that day, right? I want to be out of that trade. Win, lose, or draw, I want to be out. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilda, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence Trading, I really want to thank you for being with me today. Yes, I am over 4 minutes today. I talked way too much, but a lot to talk about. And traders, like I always say, remember, trade smart and not hard. Traders, have a great trading day. We'll see you in about 24 hours. Take care now.